What is going on, warriors and farmers of Tamaris? Back again with another Call of Dragons video. In today's episode, we are gonna have a look at the brand new Seraphic Faedrake. Gonna show you how to build this pet to get the best value against your enemies. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel for more content, like the video, and let's get down to business. Alright, warriors of Tamaris, brand new season, brand new war pet. Developers have given us a fantastic single target high DPS war pet. It is known as the Seraphic Faedrake. So how is this video gonna go down today? First of all, we're gonna talk about this pet, see what it's capable of doing. Then I'm going to show you 3 different builds that you can use with this war pet to get good value against your enemies. The first one is going to be a interruption strategic build. That's going to be awesome for the open field. The second one is going to be the DPS build that most people are probably going to be using. And the third one is going to be a universal build that you can use with pretty much any hero in the game that can give you the required amount of stacks. First of all, we're going to start off with what the pet can do for you. Now, the rage skill says deals magic damage and heals both the Legion and whichever nearby friendly Legion has the lowest number of units remaining. So let's pause here for a second. I don't really like this skill so much. Why? Because the second healing is going to go to any random nearby Legion that has the lowest number of units. Let's say you bring 5 Legions and then one of your teammates is fighting right next to you and that guy happens to have very few number of units. Well, guess what? Your Seraphic Faedrake is going to heal that guy. It's not going to heal any of your Legion. So I feel like the developers should make it so that the pet is going to prioritize your Legions first before healing anybody else. I think that would be awesome. So it's going to do some damage and it's going to do some healing. This is the damage factor. This is the healing. It goes on to say, each time an innate skill inflicts a buff or debuff, your war pet gains 1 stack of entity, maximum 4 stacks, which is removed when your war pet casts a skill. So the entity healing granted is going to be this amount per stack depending on your pet level. And then war pet skill damage dealt is going to be this amount per stack depending on your pet level. Now, innate skill means the 5 fixed skills of your hero. So if you debuff enemies with any of these skills, you're going to get a entity, I mean. So these are the innate skills of the hero. Let's go back to the pet and continue with it. Before we get to all the good stuff, let us talk about a little something that most of you don't really know right now. This pet was nerfed, I think, yesterday or the day before yesterday. Unfortunately, the game developers decided to give us a pet with the green numbers showing something else. The numbers were so high at the beginning that everybody thought this pet was going to be overpowered. A lot of people went and bought this end of season skills. And I think some of them are regretting right now. I myself am regretting getting this skill. It's not a bad pet, but I think I would have gotten something else. Now, this damage used to be very high. Before the bug fix, this is what the damage looks like. Let me bring out the screenshot and show it to you guys. So what you're looking at right now is a Seraphic Faedrake 3-star pet damage with 344 intelligence. As you can see, the green number is showing 312. This was when the pet came out. And then the developers realized that it was a bug and they went and shadow nerfed it. Many people didn't know anything about it. I recognized it because I had started using this pet with this end of season skills. So after the nerf, the damage output was reduced all the way to 217. Now let me show you guys my pet right now. With this end of season skills before the nerf, my pet had 311 for the green numbers. I remember the pet doing 367 damage, 364 give or take. As of right now, it's only doing 270 something. So that is the reduction in the pet. Just know that it has been nerfed significantly. Is it a bad pet? No, it's still good. You might have to rethink this end of season skills. Wait and see people play with the pet. Let people do their testing and then make your own decisions later on. With all of that whining and mumbo jumbo out of the way, let us see how you can build this pet to get the best value. Like I said, the first build is going to be the strategic interruption build. As of right now, my pet only have 7 skill slots. So this is how I would build it. If I had 8 skill slots, there is 1 skill that I would add here. That skill is going to be the end of season. What is it called? Advanced follow-up. This would be the skill that I add on this pet to take it to the next level. This is going to be build number 1 on the list, in my opinion, of course. So this is the strategic interruption build. What does interruption say? 25% chance to inflict pet deficiency on the target legion every second. So this pet deficiency is going to trigger Thunderlin's second skill. It's going to give you some healing. It's going to give you a stack that's going to help this pet do even more damage. Now this pet, when you're using it on the field, just know that when you put these follow-up skills, it's going to require stacks to do some damage with this pet. So you might not be able to do a lot of damage with the follow-up skill. Now there are certain things you can add on your pet to help your follow-up get the maximum stacks to do some damage. Because every time you do damage, the stacks are going to go away. And then follow-up always happens 2 seconds after you cast your first rage skill. If you have something like interruption, it's going to give you an extra stack to help you do a lot of damage with the pet. There are other things that you can do as well to increase the number of stacks that you get. But when we're still here, let us talk about interruption. What is it going to do for you apart from triggering the second skill for Thunderlin? So it says pet deficiency, war pet skill trigger chance minus 3.3% plus 5.2%. So this one is going to give me 8.5% pet skill trigger chance. This is going to punish all of the enemy pets. And how is it going to do that? Let's start off with one of the most popular pets in the game, which is the Seraphic Faedrake. So the Seraphic Faedrake has a magic fortune. Crit rate 10% plus 15%, which is 25% chance to get a crit rate when your war pet deals magic damage. So with interruption, it's going to take out 8% from this crit rate. It's going to make it so that this pet misses a few crit rate against my legion. That is the good thing. Now the next skill that's also going to suffer is going to be a follow-up. War pet has a 40% chance to cast a magic rage skill. My interruption here has minus 8.5%, which means this follow-up is going to go down by 8%. It will only have 31.5% chance to trigger. My interruption could make this pet miss a trigger for this follow-up, which is awesome. Another pet that's going to suffer so much is the venomous lizard with the infection. 12% chance to inflict poison on an attacker for 3 seconds. My pet is going to knock this down by 8.5%, leaving it with a 3% chance to trigger this skill. Again, this one also is going to suffer the blood roar and so many other pet skills. Even the night rock, this one that has a trigger chance over here, it's going to go down by 8.5%. Interruption triggers a lot. It is awesome for this pet. So let us go to the talent trees of the heroes and see how the interruption is going to synergize so well with these two heroes. So we start off with Thunderlin. Thunderlin, you go in the control talent tree. So this skill known as Sage, this skill is going to be triggered by interruption. Interruption is going to make it so that this skill maintains an uptime. Interruption is also going to keep your backstabber alive in the game, helping you do more damage, which is just awesome. And you also have ambush right here. So ambush and Sage, they're gonna work well. They will trigger this second skill, forbidden healing, give you some healing and help you get some good stacks. Now, one of the best reasons to have interruption on your pet is for all of those people who are planning to not awaken this hero. And I'm gonna show you why. This might be the one reason that will persuade you to put interruption on your pet. If you don't awaken this hero, you're not going to get the Protector's Hem, which is bad for you. And when you don't have this, you're going to miss out on this skill right here, which is going to give you some good value before you even cast your rage skill. So this one says, when your legion receives healing, they deal hero skill damage to the target legion. Damage factor 150. This hero skill damage factor is crucial, and here is why. So you're going to have interruption on your pet. Interruption triggers every 4 seconds. It has a very high chance to trigger. So interruption is going to trigger on your pet, and then it's going to trigger this ability, give you forbidden healing. You're going to get a 30% chance to heal your legion. When you heal your legion, you are going to trigger this skill right here known as the Punisher. The Punisher is going to be a hero skill damage factor. This hero skill damage factor is going to come here and trigger Good Tidings. Good Tidings is going to give you attack bonus and defense bonus of 25% before you even cast your first rage skill. So this is going to help you be very tanky when you're killing those infantry or when you're going in and out of battle. It's going to be awesome. So let me show you from a war report over here. You need to see it to believe it. So I saved one report. I think it should be this one. We hit the battle log. So here on the first one, we triggered interruption right on the first second. And as you can see here, this one did not trigger the healing. Now, let's say you are fighting someone like Margaret. You could lower her advanced barbarism by 8% because of this interruption. So this is some good stuff. So let's scroll over here on turn number 5. Here we triggered interruption. You guys see that? Interruption went and triggered forbidden healing. Forbidden healing went and triggered Punisher. Punisher brought out the Good Tidings. Good Tidings gave us 25% attack, 25% defense before we even cast our first rage skill over here. So without interruption, this is not going to be possible, I believe. And if you're not using the control talent tree, this is also not going to be possible. Which is why I have interruption here as the first build for a lot of you guys. If you don't plan on awakening THEIA, you might want to consider interruption on your pet. So this would be the first build for this war pet. You're going to have the pet soul source talent. You'll have the advanced soul source if you want to get it for the end of the season. I would probably hold off, let people test it out, see how it works. And then you can go intense soul source. Just keep on maxing it out. This thing is going to cost you a lot of money. Try to have interruption. It's going to be crucial for this March. You will have follow-up. And then you will have magic fortune. You're going to put magic spirits. And as you can see here, I have one skill slot left. The absolute best skill that can go there is going to be this one right here. If you can get it from the end of the season. If you cannot get this one, you might want to consider something else. You could try, let me see. You could try resonance. You can put resonance here to try and help you out. You can also put the other follow-up skill, this one right here, intense follow-up if you want it. Or you could try something crazy and put a heart wall. Now I know some of you will probably start laughing. This heart wall is going to give you a shield. And this shield, you know, is going to work well with this hero right here. Let me show you. So you have THEIA. You go to this talent. If you look over here, gain 15 additional rage when your legion receives healing or a shield. So the shield is going to help you cast your rage skill within 8 seconds. I have tested it out. With the shield and interruption both working together, it has the chance to let this March do their first rage skill after 8 seconds. Doesn't happen all the time, but that is possible with the heart wall. So you have to decide. But in my opinion, you should build it like this. Build it like this and then put the advanced follow-up if you can't. If you can, I mean. If you cannot get that, you can put resonance or you can put the intense follow-up or just put anything that you like. That was a lot of information for the interruption. Let us move on to the next build, which is the universal build for DPS. I mean, the build that most people are probably going to use. People who are going to ignore the importance of interruption. So this is the build that most people are going to use. So first thing you're going to do is remove elemental harmony and then put the advanced soul source, the end of the season skill for this pet. You're going to put that here. And then at the bottom here, instead of the heart wall, you're going to put the advanced follow-up. So let's go over here and work with the 3-star version. So on this heart wall, you're going to put the advanced follow-up. It's going to go here. And then on this scale, which is elemental harmony, it's intelligence, you're going to put this end of season scale. And this is the best build for doing DPS, pet DPS against your enemies. It is the best of the best for pet DPS. Now you could try and switch out resonance and replace it with intense follow-up, especially if you have the advanced follow-up on your pet. So you'll have to decide. Maybe remove resonance and put the intense follow-up. That's going to be up to you. I don't know which one is going to give you the best value. But on the end here, you're going to have to put advanced follow-up. It's going to go over here. And then you'll have to decide between intense follow-up and then follow-up. This is going to be the best build for doing the most damage against your enemies. So you have advanced, you're going to have the soul source, you're going to have the intense soul source, you're going to have advanced soul source. So 3 slots gone. You're going to have magic fortune. This one is going to be replaced by the advanced soul source. You're going to have the follow-up. You will have magic spirits. You will have either resonance or intense follow-up. I don't know which one is best. And then at the end, you're going to have the advanced follow-up. This is best DPS build. Up next, we're going to check out the universal build that you can use with pretty much any other legion in the game that can give you some kind of stacks. This is what it would look like. I would assume you're not going to get the advanced soul source, which is why we have the elemental harmony over here. And to complete this pet, you can remove the heart wall if you don't want it, and then you put either intense follow-up or the advanced follow-up, which we just talked about right here. So it's going to be one of the 2 skills. Either you put intense follow-up or you put the advanced follow-up. But I think the advanced follow-up is going to be a good one to go over here. So it's going to take on this spot. And then you can switch resonance with intense follow-up. It's going to be up to you. So this would be the universal build that you can use with anyone. Now when it comes to LILIYA THEIA, you need to keep this heart wall over here because this heart wall is going to trigger Lex Lucis and give you a lot of stacks. So let us go back over here and see LILIYA THEIA. It's a common march for the League of Order. So we have THEIA over here, her 4th skill known as the Lex Lucis. Every time you gain a shield, you're going to trigger this skill. And this skill is an innate skill. It's going to give you a stack. So every time you get a shield, you trigger this skill. LILIYA has Orb of Protection over here. This Orb of Protection is also going to give you a shield. From my testings, I found that I could get around 6 stacks before casting the first raid skill with the heart wall present. So that is something you might want to consider if you want to use the pet with your LILIYA THEIA. Now, a lot of you guys are going to remember my video where I say LILIYA THEIA were OP with this pet. I think I changed my advice to you guys right now because the developers have nerfed this pet significantly. When I made that video, this pet was doing OP damage before the bug. Now, after the bug, I'm not sure if I'll recommend this pet for a LILIYA THEIA, but you can still try it because it's going to give you this healing. This healing might give you a good survivability when you fight for a very long time. So that is something you might want to consider. If I was to ever use it for a LILIYA THEIA, this is exactly how I would build it. I would add the advanced follow-up over here, and I think the pet is going to be good like this for LILIYA THEIA. The good thing is you get some healing factor for survivability. Just a little something you can try. However, to conclude everything, in my own opinion, if you're not planning on maxing out THEIA, you might want to consider using Interruption. And if you're using Interruption, I would suggest you take it to 3 stars because this skill is going to punish many war pets in the open field. It's going to prevent them from triggering their skills. It is awesome. The pet skill triggers so many times. It is also going to keep an uptime on your backstabber, which is 2% additional damage dealt. What does that mean? Anyone who touches you is going to take 2% more counter attack. It's awesome. You're going to be doing a lot with this backstabber. It is pretty good. However, if you don't want the backstabber, you can remove it and you add some skills over here. You have the advanced follow-up, which is something you can add. And then you can add maybe resonance or intense follow-up. That is going to be up to you. What do you guys think? Which one of the 3 builds I showed you are you going to use? Let me know down below in the comment section. If you're new, subscribe for more content. Until then, talk to you guys in the next one. Bye bye for now.